Techstars, it's day 12 of our Master Excel in 30 Days challenge. Gradually, we are progressing. Soon, we'll be in the middle of our journey. Today, we are exploring how to combine if with boolean operators such as or, and not. Join me, it's going to be a thrilling experience. Let's do this together. Techstars, in today's lesson, we'll be reviewing how to use if with boolean operators such as and, or, and not. In my previous videos, we discussed how to use simple if, nested if, and then the multiple if. Today, we are going to apply that knowledge with boolean operators. Now, when we talk about boolean operators, we are basically working with true or false. Whenever a condition is tested, it results in true or false, after which an action is executed. So in all the if functions that we've written, Excel checks if the test is true or false. And if it is true, that is when it executes the value if true. If it is false, it executes the value if false. Now we are going to use and, or, and not to work with these conditions. In all my previous videos, we've tried to manually generate data sets to work with. Today, I'm going to show you how to get a free data set to work with. So come with me. You open your browser, go to a new tab and type kaggle.com. So you have it here, kaggle.com, because I'm already signed in. I have my name and all that. So when it comes to kaggle.com, you can do a lot of stuff here, even as a data analyst. You can join competitions. You can have access to free data sets. You can have access to data models when it comes to data science and machine learning. You can have access to code, discussions, and also even tutorial courses. All right. So let's just jump ahead to what we came here for, which is the data sets. So I come to data sets. We are now going to look for a free data set to work with. So you have a number of options here. Skill-based task assignment. So these are trending data sets. Mountain versus beaches. All these are data sets. All these are data sets. So you choose the one that aligns most with you. I love cars, so we are going to go with probably a data set around cars. Great. So I have one here, cars data set. So we'll just click on it and then read about it. This data set offers a fascinating opportunity to explore the diversity of the automotive market. It contains detailed information on a multitude of vehicles, including make, mileage, fuel type, number of previous owners, and so forth, and also the sale price. With this data set, you can build machine learning models, blah, 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 blah. So basically, we can have a peek at how the data set looks like. We have the brand. This is the car brand, the kilometers driven. How many kilometers did the car drive for? The fuel type, is it diesel or petrol? The owner, probably the name of the owner, and then the selling price. So we have a few rows displayed for us. Maruti, Hyundai, we have Honda, we have Ford, Toyota, right? And then we have the kilometers they've driven also here. We have the fuel type, which is either diesel or petrol. We have the owner, first owner, second owner, third owner, and then we have the selling price. Great. So this looks like a great data set I would like to work with. So to download, you just need to come to this download button. If you've not signed in, it will refer you to go and sign in before you can download. Now this is the size. It's 332.18 kilobytes, which is very, very small. I believe it's a zipped file. So you can come to download as zip, which is 47 kilobytes, which makes it even smaller. Click on it, and then it downloads very quickly. So once your download is ready, you can just open it in your file, double click it to take it off the zip state. Then you have it as a CSV. When you talk about CSV is comma separated value files. So for all the data, it is just separated by comma. So the car brand, comma, kilometers, comma, in that sequence. So I'm just going to try and open it with Excel. Right, so I have it here, brand, kilometers. So this is my heading, brand, kilometers driven, fuel, owner, selling price. Can decide to give the heading a different color, and then the text also a different color to make it easier for you to see. Right, so we have the brand here in column A, the kilometers driven, the fuel type, the owner. Is it the first owner, second owner, selling price, that's the amount. So I have 5 columns and so many rows. So I have a data of 8,129 rows. Imagine we're trying to generate this manually. So this is a better option. Okay. So I'm going to try and bring up some questions, and then we are going to use the if, and, or, not to write formulas to answer those. Okay, right. So let's use a simple if on this data set just to get ourselves acclimatized to this data. All right. Okay, so we've changed our currency to USD. So in our simple if, we are going to test if the selling price of a car is beyond 20,000, then it is expensive. If not, it is affordable. So I'm going to create a new column and call it expensive stroke affordable. Okay, so in my first cell, I'll write my formula here, equal to sign. If selling price is greater than $20,000, then write expensive. If not, then it's affordable. So note, even when it is 20,000, it's going to say affordable because it's not beyond 20,000. Enter. So 450,000 is beyond 20,000, so of course it's expensive. Now let me see if I can get a car below 20,000. It seems they are all above, so let's choose a different threshold. So let's say 100,000. If a car is below 100,000 or is 100,000, then it's affordable, but if it's beyond, it's expensive. So I have expensive here. Let me drag the formula. Okay. So I have affordable here because 96,000 is below 100,000, 45,000 is below 100,000, 92 is also below 100,000. So this is how to just write a simple if. If you still want more on this, you can check out my previous video in day 11. Okay, so to today's lesson, our first question is going to be to find out if a car has less than 50,000 kilometers and if it uses gas. So fuel type, we want to see if it uses LPG, and also if it has less than 50 kilometers driven. Then we will say it's a low mileage gas car. So let's create a new column and name it mileage check stroke gas. Right. So how are we going to write this formula? We would like to check if this car, we would like to know the cars that have mileage of less than 50,000 or kilometers driven of less than 50,000 and also use LPG. So we need both conditions to be true. We need it to be less than 50,000 kilometers driven, and we also need it to use LPG. So in this case, we are going to use AND, because when it comes to the Boolean operators, AND makes sure that both conditions have to be true before the action is executed when it comes to end function. So this is how I write the formula. Equal to sign if, then we introduce our end. Right, so it says logical 1, which is the test 1, and then the test 2. So we want to check if cell B2, which is kilometers driven, is less than 50,000. And then we separate them by a comma using the syntax. So second test says that we want the fuel, which is cell C2, to be equal to LPG. Now note, it's in caps, LPG. If B2, that's kilometers driven, is less than 50,000 and C2, which is fuel, is equal to LPG, then it's low mileage gas car. So this end makes sure that these two have to be true inside the if condition. So all of this and B2 blah 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 is the only condition of if, right? And if function says that once you write if and you put in your function, put in a comma and then tell it the value if true. So the value if true is just write that. So low mileage gas car, if not, it's a high mileage gas car. Let's put it in quotation. Remember, when writing conditions, all the texts go into quotation. Enter. So here, the kilometers driven is 145,500. This is greater than the 50,000 threshold that we did. So already one of the conditions is false. So there's no way it's going to say it's a low mileage car. Now let's look at the formula again. Now it's saying if B2, this kilometers, is less than 50,000, which is false. This is 145,500. So this condition is already false. And remember, I told you when you try to use AND, both conditions must be true. So it has already failed this test inside the if function. So there's no way the value if true is going to be displayed. Value if true is not going to work. It is going to go for the value if false because this condition tested as false. This condition failed. So look at the formula very well. I introduced my equal to sign if and then put in my boolean operator, just the and then put in my tests, my two tests or my two conditions, which is B2 should be less than 50,000 and also it should have LPG as fuel type. And these two conditions are separated by a comma inside the AND operator. After that, this whole AND and then these conditions become the condition for if function. And the syntax for if function is if condition, value if true, and then value if false. I hope you get it. So this gave me high mileage gas car. Okay, so let me try and autofill for a few. So all these are high mileage cars because the only LPG we have here is 175,000. So far we only have high mileage cars. High mileage gas cars. Let me see if I have another LPG fuel type. Yes, I do. Another LPG fuel type. And it's 44,000. Maruti, 44,000. So you realize that it's LPG and the mileage is less than 50,000. This is 44,000. So of course we have low mileage gas car. Right. I'm going to take another example shortly so that it becomes easy to understand. Okay, so our second question says, we are trying to find cars that use diesel as their fuel type, and then here their sales price or their selling price is beyond $100,000. We are trying to find cars that use diesel as their fuel type, and then they have their selling price above $100,000. And when we find those cars, we'll call them premium diesel cars. Premium diesel cars. If not, we'll call them standard cars or just standard, right? So let me create my column called premium diesel stroke standard. So in my first cell, I'll try and write my formula, which is equal to sign if. Again, we are trying to find cars that have fuel type to be diesel and also sales price above 100,000. So both conditions have to be true. So again, we are going to use our AND. Then we write our conditions. Our condition is that C2 should be diesel, comma, selling price, which is in E2, should be above 100,000. So I'm done writing my conditions for the AND and also condition in total for if. Now I need to input the value if true. Okay, if the car is a diesel car and then the sales price is beyond 100,000, what should we do? Please call it a premium. So I need to introduce my quotation marks. Premium diesel car. If not, what should I call this car? Call it a standard car. So we are done writing our formula. Enter. Right. So our first car is a diesel car, and the selling price is indeed above $100,000. Okay. Enter. So I have premium diesel car. So indeed, our first car is a diesel car and the price is above $100,000. So exactly, this is a premium diesel car. Let me autofill for a few cells. Right. The second is also a diesel car and it's also above 100,000. So we have premium diesel car. Now the third is not a diesel car, it's petrol. It has failed condition 1. And we need both conditions to be true. So the value if true is not going to be executed. This premium diesel car is not going to be executed. The value if false, which is standard car, is the one that is going to be executed. So I have standard car here. Right. We have another standard car here because the fuel type is petrol. So it has failed condition 1. And since both conditions have not been satisfied, there's no way we are going to print value if true. We are going to go with value if false, which is standard car. We are going to move on to another boolean operator called the OR. OR. And for this OR operator, I just need one condition to be true. Just one has to be true. It doesn't matter if the rest are false. If only one condition is true, it will execute the value if true. So let's look at how that is also implemented. We're going to go with another question. And the question is, identify cars that are either over 100 kilometers driven or have a selling price below $50,000. So what should we do when we find those cars? When we find those cars, it is likely that they've been used for a while, so they might need maintenance. So if not, write that it is in good condition. That is our question. So I'm going to create my column and call it condition. And then in my formula bar, equal to sign if. This time we are not going to use and because it's saying either. So we are going to go with or. So I'm identifying cars with kilometers driven beyond, so greater than 100,000, comma. That's first condition. Second condition, the sales price is below 50,000. When I introduce the comma, it's going to think it's a text, so I have to ignore that. 50,000. So either this or that, then it needs attention or it needs maintenance. So what is the value if true? Need maintenance. If not, then oh, come on, it's in good condition. Okay. So I have the first one. The kilometers driven is 145,500, which is indeed greater than 100,000. So one condition has been met. It doesn't even need to check the other one. It will just write the value if true, need maintenance. Even though the selling price is not less than the 50,000, it's rather greater than it. So this condition is false. But so far as the first condition was true, and we are using or, not and, so only one of them has to be true, it's going to print the value if true, which is need maintenance. Now let me also fill for the rest and then use that to explain. The second one, 120,000. 120,000 is also greater than 100,000. So this condition is true. We need cars that have kilometers greater than 100,000. So 120,000 is greater than 100,000. So this condition is true. So it would not even worry itself to check if this condition is false. It's going to print value if true, because we only need one condition to be true to print value if true. So we need maintenance. Let's go to one that has good condition, which is in row 7. Now the kilometers is 45,000 and then the selling price is 440,000. And what is the formula? The formula says that it needs B7 to be greater than 100,000. Is B7 greater than 100,000? No, in this case it's just 45,000. So it failed condition 1. But it needs just one condition to be true. So let's check condition 2. Condition 2 says that check if the price is less than 50,000. The price is also not less than 50,000. It's beyond 50,000. It's 440,000. So it has also failed condition 2. But with all, we need at least one condition to be true. So if both of them are untrue, then we cannot print value if true. We have to print value if false, which is good condition. So there we have it. Good condition. Another example I'm going to explain is this one. We have 68,000 kilometers. This is not greater than 100,000. So first condition is false. And then the price is 500,000, which is also not less than 50,000. So that is also false. So therefore, it's not going to print value if true. It will print value if false. So this result we have here will be flagged as good condition. Then we're going to move to the next one, which is not. So when it comes to not is like just negating something. So if a value is going to be true, not will make it false, like the opposite. Let's take an example. So I want to display sold if the owner is the first owner. So when I come here and then the value here is first owner, I want to display that it's been sold. Okay, let me take the question again. So here in column D, where I have the owner details, I have first owner, second owner, third owner, first owner, second owner, third owner. So if it is not first owner, that means it has been sold to multiple owners, or it has been passed on from one owner to another. So I want to flag it as sold. If it is not first owner, that means it has been sold. So I want to flag it as sold. So I come to a new column, name it sold out. So if it is not in the hands of a first owner, it has been sold. If not, then it is available. If not, then it's available. So let's write the formula. Equal to sign, still if, because we are testing and then carrying out actions, we are going to use not, right? So if this owner if D2 is not equal to first owner, that is what I'm trying to write. So first of all, write D2 is equal to first owner, but I want it to be not first owner. Not, so I'll bring the not outside, and then in the bracket D2 is equal to first owner, so that it will negate this. So ideally it would have been D2 if D2 is first owner, but that's not what I want. I want to find if D2 is not the first owner. So I place the not outside, place my condition inside. Then what will happen? So I'm done writing my condition for if. What's next? My comma, and then value if true. If D is not the first owner, then say sold. If not, then it's available. If D2 is not the first owner, it's sold. If not, it's available. So only write available if you see first owner. That's what I'm trying to say. Only write available if you see first owner. But if you see second owner, third owner, and others other than first owner, that means write sold. Okay, so it has written available here. Let's see why. So first owner, if D2 is not first owner, then write sold. But if it's first owner, write available. Okay, so this is right. Now let me duplicate this for a number of them to see. So the second one is sold. Second one is second owner. Yes, we are looking for vehicles that have the ownership to be second owner in the rest. So second owner, write sold. Third owner, write sold. First owner, come back and write available in that regard. So basically this is how we use if and not in Excel. Okay, I hope you've been able to get these concepts. If this is still being a bit unclear to you, you might probably have skipped my tutorial on the simple if function, nested and then multiple if. Please go back to day 11, try to watch, and then I'm sure it will come clearer to you. Or replay this video a couple of times just to understand what we are doing here. Thank you for staying this far. Today we've learned something a bit complex when it comes to if and boolean operators, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I guess this was not an easy one, but I hope you were able to understand concepts in this lesson. If you have any further questions or any concerns, just drop it in the comment section or reach out to us on our WhatsApp groups and then you'll be assisted. See you soon.